Chimps. Well, on today's episode of Chimps Be Chippin', apparently there's a boycott that's in place where basically a bunch of people of a certain demographic have decided that they're not going to do business at businesses anymore, like nail care supply stores, hair care supply stores, beauty supply. They're not going to go to any type of salons. They're not going to go to any gas stations or liquor stores. Pretty much anywhere where the owner or employees even remotely look Oriental, which I find to be so weird because this is the same demographic of people that come on social media and complain about oppression, complain about racism, complain about stereotyping is wrong, and all this stuff is wrong, and people shouldn't be profiled, blah, 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 blah. But now all of a sudden, because they're mad that somebody got found not guilty, suddenly they're going to boycott every single business in this country that is run by people who happen to look a certain way, even though they're completely innocent and had nothing to do with the situation. While they come on social media and jump up and down, hoot and holler like fucking animals, wondering why nobody gives a shit about the problems in their community anymore. Yeah, what? You're gonna boycott a nail salon? First of all, as if you ever paid the bill in the first place. Y'all go in there, get your nails did, and then you walk out the fucking door without paying. Or the beauty care supply store, you're not going to walk in there. Wow, suddenly they're probably not going to deal with theft problems anymore. You're going to come on social media and advocate for boycotting innocent people's businesses, taking away business from them because you're mad about something that someone else did when you don't even know what the nationality or ethnicity of that man actually was. But you're going to look at people and say, oh, they got squinty eyes, they must be the same ethnicity. And then you wonder why people look at you and can't see the difference between you and the fucking animals in prison. You want people to start seeing you as an individual, as a and start fucking acting like it. Don't come on social media and bitch about prejudice, bitch about oppression, bitch about racism, while you come on here with the same fucking energy being racist towards everybody else. I have never seen a community of people more racist than the black community.
Some white gays and lesbians are never escaping the allegations of being the fucking weakest link of the LGBTQIA+. There, I said it. I know a whole lot of people that are not some of these white gay men and white lesbian women are thinking the exact same fucking thing. And on Pride Month, no less. That's one of y'all's. Entering in a conversation they were not invited in, to give commentary nobody gave a fuck about, and just to make sure she got all of it, throwing out some fucking Asian stereotypes her goddamn self. Some of you white gays and lesbians are not ever beating the fucking allegations. You are the reason Pride sucks. You want to know how these motherfuckers really, truly feel about you? Some of you white gays and lesbians who will hold on to that whiteness but not hold on to the fact that you're gay or a lesbian. I need you to go and ask people within your little circle that are not white. Some of you motherfuckers are never beating the allegations. Ever. Ever. You are a detriment to everything the LGBTQIA+ stands for. You are. How the fuck are you racist and gay? Make that shit make sense. Like they gonna like your ass. And see, there are people within the LGBTQIA+ community that want to say that shit desperately. But they won't. They won't. You motherfuckers are the ones that came up with normal gay. The fuck is that? You motherfuckers are the ones that believe in MAGA shit. Y'all are the ones that wanted to cut off the T and let them float on by themselves.
You know what I call this? I call this entitlement. This is entitlement of the highest order. Because these people are not asking one question. What led black people to make this kind of decision? You know, people are just reacting to the result. They're not reacting to the causality. That's what is happening. Everything that you see as the causality and the result. But they're not looking at the causality. They are looking at the result. And that's the problem. That's where these people are not getting it. This is one of the highest entitlement that I've ever seen towards black people. You cannot state to black people, the group of people, or where they should spend their money. because you didn't make them have it to begin with. You cannot detect where black people are going to be spending their money. So if they decide that they're going to be spending in their own community, why is it hurting you so much, right? You ask yourself that question. How is that a problem to you? The fact that black people have decided that they're not going to share their dollars with you. So what's your problem? I mean, you can decide to do the same. You can decide to boycott black stores, of course. Black people will support themselves. So what I'm seeing that is happening right now, it is the highest order of entitlement. You don't owe black people. You don't owe and own black people. You don't. So you cannot just wake up in the morning and say that, oh, the same people that are complaining about oppression, blah, 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 are the same type of people that are now doing this to us. No. We need to look at the causality. What really caused this mess? That's what you should be looking at. Not the result. Now you are reacting to what has already happened. Brothers and sisters, I want us to watch this video. I'll be back with my thoughts and commentary in regards to this. So let's watch the video. I'll be back.
You're racist, misogynistic, transphobic, xenophobic, and you are an anchor on the entirety of LGBTQIA+. And rather than understanding that your ass is also a fucking minority, you would rather side with the white folks. Why? And I will never forget y'all saying this. Y'all said it, not me. We want to be with the normal straights. Y'all said that. That wasn't me. It was you. You're a detriment, an albatross, an anchor, the worst aspects of LGBTQIA+. You are. Because you are white before you were anything else. That's why you can give a fuck about your trans brothers and sisters, non-binary brothers and sisters, queer brothers and sisters. You don't give a fuck about them. Especially if they ain't white. Whoa! Y'all, have you ever noticed when you go into gay bars or places where gay people gather, trans people gather and shit like that? Have you ever noticed when you walk in the door, the entire mood changes? Do you know why that is? Because your fucking politics is toxic. You motherfuckers are the reason Grindr keeps crashing every time y'all get together. Because you want to hook up like you gay, but you want to be conservative. Y'all are the reason that Pride is no longer known as the history of a riot. Because you corporate motherfuckers decided, oh, it's a little bit too gay. That's too gay. Oh, drag. Oh, that's too gay. Y'all talk out of turn, out of school, and out of context. All the time. You think your tax bracket will save you from that ass whooping. Because them white boys, them racist white boys that you're appealing to, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't. They don't. They genuinely don't. They're looking at you like, oh, and I'm not even going to say what they're really thinking. I'm not, but you know. But let one of you motherfuckers be in trouble. Then you demand that the majority of the LGBTQIA+ come to fight your battles. Some of y'all advocate for bullshit and then wonder why motherfuckers don't want to talk to you. You're a detriment. You are. And nobody within the community will say anything. But people outside of it have known this shit for years. It's always some gay white person that does this bullshit. So I want this woman who, by the way, you had a heart attack. If I told you how I truly feel about you having a heart attack, you would have this fucking video removed for harassment and bullying. But just know, that's exactly what I'm thinking. But some of you white, gay men and lesbian women are never beating the allegations of being leeches within the LGBTQIA plus, the fucking worst aspects of the LGBTQIA plus, and you make Pride Month worse every year. It's already bad enough that they got to deal with the homophobes and the transphobes. They also have to deal with them amongst their fucking own. Some members of your own community hate your fucking guts. They just won't tell you. But I will.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Even know what the nationality or ethnicity of that man actually was, but you're going to look at people and say, oh, they got squinty eyes, they must be the same ethnicity, and then you wonder why people look at you and can't see the difference between you and the fucking animals in prison. You want people to start seeing you as an individual, as a human being, then start fucking acting like it. Don't come on social media and bitch about prejudice, bitch about oppression.
Somebody in one of the comment sections was like, Andy Milonakis need to chill. First of all, bitch, how are you going to lecture black people on some type of prejudice or discriminatory action while using a racist epithet like chimping out? That lets me know right then and there that you were a racist before this whole boycott thing happened. All of these strong sentiments that you have towards black folks, you already felt like that before the boycott thing. Like, she up here lecturing us like she's on some type of moral high ground, like she got some type of moral compass, while she's sitting here talking about how we get our nails done and then we just walk out the shop without paying, or we go into these little corner stores and we just take shit and we're stealing from these stores. Like, first of all, what you're saying does not even make fucking sense. How would they even be in business if everybody was in there utilizing the service and then walking out without paying? If what you're saying is actually accurate, then maybe the boycott thing, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing that black folks don't come in and patronize your business, because you're talking about us like we're a liability. So if we're such a liability, then why do you care if we take our business out?
So I'm not going to kowtow to the black community. Okay? I don't hate the black community. In fact, I love the black community. I have mad respect for the black community. Okay? The black ancestors have done so much for minorities that I have mad respect. I won't kowtow to the black community. Okay? I see so many Asian people, particularly liberal Asian people, Democrat Asian people, that they are coming on here and saying, oh, you know what, there's so many racist Asian people. You know, Asian people are so terrible, right? Black people are suffering. Really, they're not suffering. I'm sorry. Right? They're not. They're suffering from their own victimhood. So many Asian people are saying like, oh, you know what, all this, they're putting down Asian people and trying to kowtow to black people, trying to butter up to black people. You are disgusting people, right? They're trying to butter up to people, to the black community, because of the whole Rich Chow situation with one black boy, one black boy. And there's the thing.
See how he...
If you look at it statistically, right, the sheer amount of violence by black people. Because here's the thing, right? If you look at crime statistics, right, black on Asian crime versus Asian on black crimes, you would see the disparity.
Shut up. I couldn't even listen to the rest of that. First of all, he kept saying kowtow. That just irritated my soul. I don't know why. But basically, he's trying to say, like, bow down to the black community. Asian people who do that are sellouts, and they're disgusting and deplorable people. And black people are their own, they create their own victimhood. And it's like, nobody's asking y'all to bow down or kowtow or whatever the fuck ching chong you talking about. I don't know. We are literally reacting to constant anti-blackness and discrimination and racial profiling. And for you to make it a point to say, oh, that one young black boy, that is not the only instance in which we have been assaulted, accosted, and even unalived by the Asian community. Now, am I saying that Asian people are out here just unaliving black people by the droves? No. I am saying that Asian people have been known and prone to being anti-black. And this is where y'all get it twisted and get the game fucked up at. Y'all come into our neighborhoods and in our communities. So people will be crying and screaming and trying to jump on a white supremacist rhetoric about having black fatigue, which y'all stole and colonized from a black woman. The irony, nothing original, not an original bone and not near one of y'all's bodies. Anyways, another story for another day. Y'all come into our spaces. Now, I could see if black people were going into Chinatown, wreaking havoc, causing an uproar, being destructive, and then y'all having an adverse reaction to that. But we don't go into you all spaces. You all come into our spaces then try to police how we act and treat us less than human. And the fact that all of this is happening on the back end of a young black boy, a teenager, being unalived, unjustly, unprovoked, for absolutely no real valid reason, for you all to have this type of reaction to us reacting is disgusting. It's giving demonry. It really is. How could you be human if you cannot empathize with that situation, and instead of being understanding, you try to demonize a group of people? That what other ways do we have to really enact change or to get our point across? Boycotting, blackouts, that is cultural to Black Americans. Y'all don't even get that. Y'all keep saying, oh, it's a cultural practice, it's tradition. Boycotting is how we've been able to get a lot of things done. You said it yourself. Oh, y'all have done a lot for minorities. Y'all have helped people of color, which I hate that term because y'all are not colored. You guys are like, anyways. But because of how we've boycotted and how we've done things, you all are able to walk around here freely. So to have no grace and to get up here and make it seem like we're asking you to do anything other than to treat us like human and to leave us the fuck alone. Bitch, we don't come into your spaces. We're not over in China or Korea or Vietnam going into y'all's neighborhoods, setting up shop, and then following y'all around the store, cussing y'all out, giving y'all subpar and poor service, price gouging, beating y'all's ass, locking y'all's in stores. We're not doing that. You all come into our spaces. If Johnny had 5 apples, y'all come into our spaces. This is a country that we are from. Y'all migrate here. Y'all come here. We don't go to where you're from and demand that you do anything. We don't do that. This is irritating. What y'all think about this? We asking for the Asian community to bow down? No, we want to. First of all, I don't understand why is everybody so upset that we're saying people want to shop Black owned. That doesn't mean that they're not going to shop in any immigrant establishments, but we are primarily working on focusing on ourselves. All y'all do is talk down on Black Americans and say how we ain't shit, we don't got shit, we don't own shit, we don't circulate our money. We're working on that, and you guys are literally throwing yourselves off of a fucking cliff at the idea of us doing what you all have been doing, which is practicing group economics and putting yourself first and circulating your dollar amongst yourself first. What's the issue? What y'all think about this? I don't know if in the comments. Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
So,
an Asian content creator got on this here internet wearing what can only be described as a Black American starter kit and decided to tell Black people that our money doesn't matter. Okay. According to him, Black people need Asian-owned businesses more than Asian-owned businesses need Black people. A boycott wouldn't move anything. The loss wouldn't register. Our dollars don't count. Now, this might just be me, but if I genuinely believed that somebody's money didn't matter, I don't think I'd spend my afternoon making a video about it. So naturally, I went looking at the history, because this conversation isn't really about just one video, right? The very second that Black people start talking economics, where our money goes, who profits from it, who builds wealth off our communities, people get uncomfortable. That same discomfort doesn't appear when other groups do the same thing. Every immigrant community that's come to this country has done it. Jewish, Chinese, Korean, Italian, Indian, Armenian, pooling resources, building businesses, keeping their money inside their communities for as long as possible. Nobody finds that controversial though. But what they fail to recognize is that we understood the same thing. We had to. After slavery, Black communities built banks, hospitals, insurance companies, schools, newspapers, whole business districts. The Greenwood neighborhood in Tulsa, Oklahoma had 191 businesses. It had 2 schools, a hospital, and a library, all by 1921. They called it Black Wall Street. But on May 31st, 1921, a white mob attacked it. 2 days of looting, burning, and shooting. But it's us, right? We're the problem. 35 square blocks destroyed. More than 1,200 Black homes, businesses, schools, and churches, y'all, burned to the ground. World War I era planes dropped bombs from the sky on the Greenwood neighborhood. The official death toll was 36. But we know the estimates were around 300 Black people killed, murdered. The survivors were rounded up and held in internment camps in their own city. They were issued identification cards and couldn't leave without permission from a white supervisor. Insurance companies refused every claim. They had something called a riot clause. Not a single Black resident ever received financial assistance to rebuild. So when somebody gets on the internet and tells Black people that our money doesn't matter, I automatically think they're a dumbass. A racist dumbass. Corporations spend billions chasing Black consumers. Political campaigns spend millions trying to reach Black voters. Entire industries are built around marketing to Black communities. Our money matters. It mattered enough to burn a city for it in 1921. It mattered enough to redline neighborhoods for the next 50 years. It matters enough that every quarter, somebody's profit and loss statement depends on us showing up. Apparently our money matters right up until we start talking about where we want to spend it. Then all of a sudden it doesn't. Right? Nobody's entitled to Black customers. We spend our money where we want. That's how markets work. That's how capitalism works. That's how every other community inside this country operates. The fact that this becomes a controversy every time Black people say it out loud tells me that this was never about money. It was about leverage. And this country has been comfortable with Black spending. It's Black leverage that's always made them nervous. But if you know anything about me, you know I love a good challenge. Shop Black. Spend with your people. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. We gonna show you better than we can tell you. Invest in Black businesses. Build the community. Y'all, we are overdue.
Lots of Black creators called in their community during anti-Asian COVID racism. Similarly, I'm calling in my Asian community on anti-Black racism, not because I hate being Asian, but because I love my Asian community so much that I want to help eradicate the poison of racism from our hearts so we can have a negative encounter with an individual from any race and still treat others from that race with respect, because bad eggs exist in every race. I want to help us see that our internalized white supremacy and anti-Blackness as something that was taught to us through the trauma of white male colonial capitalist Christian structures of exploitation and divide and conquer, making Black and brown folks fight each other for scraps, while white folks hoard wealth at the top and uphold systems that oppress and kill Black and brown folks daily. I want to help us all eradicate the poison of racism so we can be united in dismantling white supremacy-based racial hierarchy to finally have collective liberation and true equity for all.
So I've been seeing a lot of discourse on TikTok lately about how the Black community is boycotting Asian-owned businesses. So I did some research and I looked into the whole case with Ricky Chow, and rest in peace Cyrus, and like he didn't deserve that, and I understand why the Black community is not in support of Asian-owned businesses, because I would be doing the same thing too. Like, why would you go somewhere where you're not welcomed? And I've worked in plenty of nail salons before, and I can attest that there are racist people out there. Not everyone is racist, as we know, but there are individuals in my community that are, and it's really embarrassing. Like that one guy who posted online, he's also Asian, and he was like, I dare you to boycott the Asian community. And it's like, bro, like you are like they want us to be against each other. They want people of color to be against each other, and you're making it worse. So I'm right there with them. I understand. I would, like I said, I would be doing the same. So if you live in Phoenix, Arizona, that's where I'm based out of. If you have any recommendations of Black-owned businesses, I would love to support in any way I can for the community. But yeah, I'm just really embarrassed for my people. It's just sad. As someone who's Asian American and I own a nail salon, I totally get it. Like I said, I'm right there.
Some of the ugliest comments I've seen about the Rick Chow case, they're coming from other Asian people. And I'm not gonna pretend like this surprises me, because look, we have a track record of this stuff. So here's what happened. Chow, a convenience store owner, shot Cyrus, a 14-year-old Black boy, in the back. It was a $1 water bottle. This was a 14-year-old boy. Cyrus was someone's son too. Anti-Blackness is not out there somewhere. It's coming from us. It's coming from our community too. I've seen this up close. My landlord told me not to play with the family next door, a Black family. There was this Asian American fraternity that did blackface. We shouldn't be split up like this. Like, we should be advocating for each other. If you're an Asian person, you're watching this, I'm gonna challenge you to not get defensive. Like, maybe this anger is what it finally takes for our community
Since we are seeing the Asian community that have proximity to whiteness, a lot of them actually forgot that they were targeted by Ku Klux Klan. During 1860s and 1870s, the black communities were targeted by the original Klan, and that was in the South. The Ku Klux Klan also targeted the Chinese immigrants in California, and that was in San Jose and Marysville. The Ku Klux Klan also targeted the Chinese labor camps, and they also destroyed one of the Chinese-owned businesses and destroyed one of the churches. In 1981, the Ku Klux Klan launched a terror campaign against the Vietnamese Americans to destroy their fishing businesses by burning their boats and threatening their lives. As the terror campaign escalated, many Vietnamese Americans decided to sell their boats and find shelter in another place. But Colonel Nam, a South Vietnamese colonel who took refuge in Texas after the war, persuaded his community to fight back and filed a lawsuit seeking an emergency injunction against the Klan. The lawsuit led to a historic decision upholding the refugees' right to fish without fearing violence. And don't think this is all over, because the Ku Klux Klan actually still exists today, and they have been evolving since many years.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video again. As you know, I'm your host and presenter Rhetoric Stories. Again, as I was saying, you cannot enforce your beliefs, you cannot enforce your standards towards a group of people that you don't decide anything for them. Black people have been existing, black people have been having their own problems, but you didn't step up to solve them. Right now, you are reacting after a result, but so many times black people have addressed the anti-blackness in the Asian community, but people never gave a damn. So right now, everything has gone haywire. That's why now people are starting to call black people racist. We are having some Asian people that are calling black people racist. We are having some white folks that are calling black people racist. But you ask yourself, why would you call black people racist when the same thing that they have been trying to address, the same thing that they have been trying to talk about, they have always tried to talk about it, but you are not listening. You are not keen about it. But you now are fast to react when the result is now out, when it now eats your pocket, that you're not going to be seeing black clients on your shop, you're not going to be seeing black people buying your stuff. Now it's eat you. And now you're saying that, oh, black people complain that they are racist, other people are racist, now that black people are racist. I don't think it works that way, brothers and sisters. This is something that should be looked like, we are just people who are saying black people that way. I feel like they're being mean towards black people. So when black people decide to have a blackout, it now eats you. And now you keep complaining about all these stuffs that are happening. Yep. You now start complaining about all these stuffs that are happening. But you are the ones that made black people be who they are. You are the ones that made black people decide to act in the way that they acted. Black people didn't just wake up in the morning and decided that we are going to boycott your shows. We are going to have a blackout. You are the one who pushed black people to the edge. So what do you expect? You pushed them to the edge. Right? So what do you expect? I don't think that's one thing to blame black people for, because honestly speaking, you people are putting too much weight on black people. You are having so much expectation on black people. And they're human beings. They could do anything they want. The way you decided that you're going to choose being anti-black, that's how they also chose their path. And they chose how they're going to be deciding how things are going to be for them. That's one thing you can never control. That's one thing you can't control. They just decided to be who they want to be and do what they want to do with their money. And that's about them. That's not racism. They've just decided that's not racism, because they have been trying to address the same type of problem, but you people didn't listen. Well, you know what? That's one of the highest forms of entitlement. So I really want to say, I really didn't want to say much about this, but please let me know if you're watching this video. Please let me know what you think about this. As you know, I'm your host and presenter Rhetoric Stories, but until then, let me see you in my next video. Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.